if you drive a booted version of a small car, you go up a notch or two in your neighbor's esteem. But I tell you, if you are driving a small car, you are better out driving a hatch because it takes less of road space and it's easier to park and better in terms of fuel efficiency. But I don't think Hyundai here quite believes in my logic, because what they have done is add a boot to the Grand i10. Boot here will not only add a wee bit to your prestige in your neighbor's eyes, but what it will also do is give you some much needed luggage space. The boot here looks quite spacious, and if that long lost cousin of yours lands up one night at the airport, this would be a nice car to bring him home in, plus his luggage of course. What Hyundai has done here is quite predictable. They have changed a hatch into a 3-box. They have this part of the boot, and the challenge here has been to keep the size down to under 4 meters to take benefit of the tax subsidies, and I think they have done a fairly good job of it. If you look at some of the cars which have gone through the same treatment, I dare say they look outright ugly. But not so in the case of this. This looks quite proportionate, and the boot certainly doesn't look like an add-on. The dimensions of this car remain identical except for the length. The length has increased a bit, but more importantly it's the wheelbase which remains the same, and this means the space here in this car as compared to the hatchback remains identical. But what this car gets in addition to the hatchback are some premium features like a fully automated climate control, a parking sensors, parking camera, and the rear seat gets an armrest. And she rides on 15-inch wheels instead of the 14, which gives it a higher ground clearance and a higher stance. The 3-box here will also be sold with both petrol and diesel engine options, but the engine here is common. It's the same one that powers the hatchback, so expect the same drivability and the rideability, but the car will be slightly heavier, so acceleration figures might be a bit low and fuel consumption might just go up a little bit. The engine here will be mated to an automatic transmission as well, just like it's in the Grand i10. So what is this that you are getting in this 3-box Grand i10 called the Xcent? Yes, with an X. You are getting a car which is heavier, which is longer, which in turn means it will accelerate slower than a proper hatchback, and it will also probably bring a little more gas than the regular hatchback Grand i10. But the trade-off is that you are getting a car with a proper boot. And this car is certainly going to be a little more expensive than the hatchback, by my reckoning about 50,000 rupees more. So whether you make that trade-off or not is your call. As for me, I will be quite comfortable driving a small hatch which is fuel efficient and easy to park and drive.
While here at the Auto Expo, you might want to check out this subcompact car from the recently revived brand Datsun called the Go. Now, what is this car all about? Well, it's powered by a 1.2-liter engine and will be available at the Nissan dealerships. To find out more about this car, we spoke to Wilson Kobe and Ashwini Gupta on their grand plans on what they plan to do and where they want to take this brand in the Indian market.
We move on to the next step as Wrangata becomes the first plant in the world to produce the all-new generation of Datsuns, starting with Datsun Go.
The first Datsun Go worldwide rolled off the assembly line on the 4th of February from the Renault-Nissan Alliance plant in Oragadam, Chennai. Exact technical details and the price will be announced when the car is officially launched. But we expect the car to be on sale in March, and it should be priced somewhere below 4 lakh rupees ex-showroom.
In this great market of India, the intention for Datsun brand is to provide a modern, reliable, aspirational answer to the needs of an emerging middle class. So our positioning is targeting in the sub 4 lakh segment the people who are moving up in society, who have high aspirations for the future. So we are positioned by a customer, we call them risers, people who see a bright future in front of them.
This is
what we show as our Datsun product, Datsun Go, where you can see modernity in terms of styling, in terms of service, then durability in terms of the robust structure, then the reliability which will come as a total cost of ownership.